Welcome to Waters Ironworks. With Easter coming up, I thought I would do a special Easter video. My wife started making these Pysanky eggs a couple years ago, and I found a video, I'll link to it, on how to make a cute little Easter egg holder. Super simple project, really pretty similar to the spiral Viking pendant that we did a while back. A lot of similar skills. So we'll make the holder for it and hopefully it will fit. So I've got some 1/16 inch steel, very lightweight steel here. I don't know exactly how long I need. I did a prototype of one of these with 24 inches, way too short. I decided to go to 42 inches because 42 seemed like the right answer to life, the universe, and everything. First thing we're gonna do is put some points and little safety curls, rat tail curls on each end. We'll bend it in half, curl it up, and then we'll open it up. So I'm just gonna draw out a little point and taper on this. We'll round that off. Always use the SOAR square octagon round method. This material cools off very quickly because it's so small. It can be tempting to work this when it's getting too cold. Will tend to cause cracks and things like that. So take the extra effort, put it back in, reheat it frequently. There we go. It's a little bit of a curl to keep it safe. We'll quench that end. Same thing on the other side. Round it up there. And a little curl. So we've got both ends prepared at this point, and what we want to do is find the middle. There's something pretty close to it. And then we want to bend it here, and we're going to overlap these before we do the curl. So, just going to bend that over the horn. So I've got my spot marked. We'll heat it up, and then we'll finish closing this up. So we're just going to close this up. And then we're going to start curling it. Get another heat on that. I want to try and get this as round as I can in the initial curl. Otherwise, the whole thing winds up coming out a little oval. So I've got this started. At this point, our goal is just to continue curling this. We've got a couple options, and we have a couple options on how we do that. I'm gonna start it a little bit more over the edge of the anvil like this, make that scroll a little bit bigger, but then I'm gonna switch to an easier method, which is grabbing a pair of scrolling tongs and just rolling it up. That makes it go a lot faster, but I'll show you guys both ways. Trick is to keep this nice and tight. You don't want any big gaps in there. So you kind of roll it up, a couple taps down to start a new round on it, and keep working it around. You can certainly do the whole thing this way. A little time consuming, not super hard. But let's heat it up and I'll grab the scrolling tongs and we'll take a look at what it looks like doing it that way. See how easily that goes. Really the big thing there is how long your heat is going to be. So let's get a nice long section hot and we'll keep spiraling that. I'm also going to grab a pair of tongs because this will start getting hot on me. If you do get some looseness, you can always come in, help with the hammer there. Let's get that hot again. I'm going to flip this around, heat up this part, and finish closing it up here. All right. I will probably wind up turning these spirals around so they're facing the outside, but we'll do that as we get closer to the end. The next step in this is that we need to separate our two layers. So one half of this is going to become the base and the second half will become our egg cup. I think I might, a couple blows just to tighten that up a little bit. I would say look at the two sides. The side that is tighter and has a nicer spiral on it, I would probably leave that as the base. If you've got one side that's a little looser like I do, use that and bring it up as the egg cup. A nice wide chisel can be helpful here. What we want to start doing is just separating those two layers a little bit. Try and keep the bottom one as flat as you can. So we're going to reheat that, and now I can start pulling up on this with the scrolling tongs and making it a little more cup shaped. This part's kind of fun. Just lift it up. So thin, especially hot, it just moves very easily. Turn this to the outside. Maybe leave it up. I think that looks pretty nice. I'd like to get this inner one down a little bit more, so I think I'm going to grab a punch and just push that down once I heat it back up. I think that looks okay. Let's quench it and see how it looks with an egg. Needs to be a little bit wider, a little bit more open, I think. Let's heat it up one more time and open these up some. It could be a little tighter in there, but I think overall that looks pretty good. Let me clean it up so it's a little shinier, and we'll take a final look at it. There we go. Kind of a fun little project to make a decorative holder for your Easter eggs. There are things that you can do optionally on it, right? I just wrapped this around. The video that I'm linking to, where I saw this from, made a little handle out of the end, which was pretty cute. But a nice, easy way to display some Easter eggs. Good, fun little project to knock out as we go into the Easter holiday. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Waters Ironworks, and we'll see you again soon.